Hello, dears. Hello, hello. Those of you new to the work today, what we do in this community is identify the cause of all of our suffering and we question it. We identify what we're thinking and believing in those times where we have been or are being stressed, depressed, hurt, sad, troubled, frightened. We identify what we're thinking and believing and move it from our head to paper. And it's really helpful if you use that Judge-Your-Neighbor Worksheet that's always free on thework.com. You sign up for nothing, you don't enroll in, it's just there. And you can fill in what you're thinking and believing. The emotional, the thought you're thinking and believing. There are 6 questions there. And then we meditate in them using self-inquiry as the modality. My words, my words. I love that you would find someone on this thread if you're new and get in touch with them and ask them to support you if what I just said sounds just too far out and complicated to follow through with. Itai, honey, you have a question? Oh, your sound.
Sorry, can you hear me now? Great.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
And I have a question for you. Are you sorry?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I have actually 2 quick questions. First of all, happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you. It's some kind of miracle. Oh my gosh, and I'm still walking better than I did in my 40s, in my early 40s. It's like some kind of miracle. I think there's something wonderful going on, and I think it's the absence of suffering. I don't know, but I'm certainly grateful for that one way or another. And if I'm suffering, I have the ability to do this work and understand it. So none of us left behind, no one ahead of anyone else. Yeah, thank you, honey. Yeah, I just feeling that birthday, the gift of life.
These are crazy times. So I love what you just said. I'm curious to know, first, how you celebrated. And second, you mentioned last week a couple of times that if Stephen came home and told you that he met someone, he met another woman, how happy you would be for him. And I'm always amazed by that answer because I think the vast majority here would not have this reaction if
anything short of that, how can I possibly say honestly that I love him?
That was my question. Like, how do you find that degree of love, this unconditional love, that if your loved one told you that he met someone else?
Well, it's easy if you're not using that other person, using them as some kind of security, emotional security, financial security, identity security. I mean, don't do that. It will hurt me. That's not love. That's not love. And it's like in our vows, we stay together thick or thin. And if he wants to go live and marry whatever it is, someone else, that's thick or thin. I've vowed. If anyone that says I love you, I melt in it by my own definition of what love is. That tells me about them, not me. I love. Honey, ask the question again. How do I find unconditional love? I do. I find it in myself. I don't expect it of other people. That way we all have access to someone that loves us unconditionally, and it is ourself. And if I can't love myself that way, then how can I expect any other human being to love me that way? You understand how ridiculous? Can you hear how ridiculous it sounds to expect that of anyone else when it's like you love me because I can't? This is your job now to love me because I can't love me. And if you don't love me, by the way, I don't love you either. I mean, there's something off with that. That way, even in death, we love. It doesn't interfere with it. And if we can love one, we can love all. That's what I love about love.
Yeah, but I just always think that if my husband, for example, came and told me that he met someone else, or even if like he has this new friend and they're gonna hang out without me, or
Yeah.
I don't know what he's gonna spend the night with him, I would be shattered. I would be
Yeah. Yeah. He is to live up to your dream. And the ego doesn't like it when someone doesn't live up to its dream. Your job as my dream is to take care of me and to not love anyone else more than you love me, and to be more loyal to me as well. So it's like moving the people we profess to love into some kind of prison, of our own making. Honey, if you continue to do your worksheets, you come out understanding that you are the love of your life. And even though you don't need the world anymore, you understand it, you love it, you understand it. That's love. It just moves from here out into the whole place from here.
I think my biggest struggle is that for me, it's the complete opposite. If I didn't love him so much, I would be indifferent if he met someone or if he left me. But because I cannot imagine my life without him, if something happened to him or if he left me, I would be so devastated.
Yeah, but you don't know. You imagine it, but you don't know.
That's true.
You could be greatly relieved. He's out of pain. He's free. He's given you his life as he has given it. You have him in your head that hits your heart all the days of your life, even if you should find another partner. There's room for all. Without disloyalty, there's room for all.
Yeah, and I'm definitely working on that, especially about like losing loved ones. And I spoke to you about it, I think, earlier in the year when you lost your ex-husband. Maybe he's the father of your
Yeah, yeah. It's still, it just can just hit me, and the tears happen. That's love. Yeah. And I'm so grateful I didn't have to live with him all those years following the divorce. Didn't stop me from loving him and appreciating him. I mean, it's easy when I look at who he was married to. Before the work.
So I'm definitely working on that aspect because I mentioned like my dad is very sick. But to lose someone like my partner, or if my partner came to me and met somebody else, because my love for him cannot imagine my life without him, that's like where I'm struggling. And
So
obviously,
is that love or dependency?
it's both, and obviously it's also ego driven.
Well, there's really nothing that isn't except peace of mind, and that's loving the world as you understand it to be unconditionally, and the people in it, circumstances, the people. Oh gosh, sweetie, I cannot change anything in this world. It's enough to deal with myself. So that's, this is self-help. This work is self-help.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And again, through the work with you throughout the years, it's something I'm always thinking about. And it's definitely helping me with being less ego driven, and being and seeing like me dependent on other people is also being very selfish. And as you said, I first of all need to love myself.
Yeah, and depend on yourself, and then he's here to help, to assist in your life and to love what you love. The things, to love yourself is to love all. And I think, and I'll test that, to really love another human being is to love all. I think it's the same, interchangeable, but I'll leave it all to all of you to test that.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to go back to my first question. If you can share how you and your loved one celebrated your birthday.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, a lot of physical labor. A lot of physical labor. And then to break up that, on a lot of walking, and I have a lot of biking. See, I'm going into rapture here, and I don't want all of this to be about me, but biking. Oh my God, it's so good. And eating properly for me, we all have, our preferences, but eating what works for me as opposed to what doesn't work for me. And how did I spend my birthday? Just gratitude, gratitude. Watching how things work, watching I drop something and it breaks as I'm moving it, and just loving its beauty. It's as beautiful broken as it was prior to falling into pieces. It's kind of like us, isn't it? It's like something happens and we fall to pieces, but it's just like me dropping something and watching the beauty of it after loving it the way it was, watching how the beauty continues. Plus, I can see it always in my head, so that can't be broken. It can, with a poor memory like mine, it kind of goes back to where it came from sometimes, and it's not there. I think it's that way for all of us. We're not thinking of what we dropped and broke all the time. But when it does come back to mind, to enjoy the beauty as it was, what it was, and then was what it was, remains what it is inside of us. What did I do on my birthday? Oh boy. A lot of hard work and physical work, and then noticing my this memory that is not what it used to be. Watching it, the simplest things that anyone could recall, I have trouble pulling up. And I use the word trouble to be more honest with you, just the fascination of it not being there. It's like an object, you put a coffee cup on, you rinse it in the sink and wash it, put it in the drain or whatever. And then the next time you want that coffee cup, you know where it is. And sometimes for me, I don't. And so it's like losing things and being grateful for losing things, because anything I can't remember, I don't need. It's not required. It has nothing to do with happiness. It's how do I know I don't need it? I can't find it. How do I know what I was thinking? I can't when I can't. And in some respects, I'm describing all of us. But I have the privilege of a full life, and forgetfulness in our 80s is not uncommon. So yeah, and it was the same when I was like in my 30s, my 40s, the similarities. I can't remember, where did I put that? So it's nothing new. It's just shows up, it seems a little more. Oh, sweetie, I had an amazing birthday. Thank you for asking. And this morning has been magical. I walked with my grand dog, my son, one of my sons. It was just amazing.
Thank you so much. And you're not alone with forgetting and losing stuff that happens all the time. And I loved what you just said. Like if you forget about it, if you lost it, maybe it's not that important. So permission to be human. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. How do I know I don't need it? I don't have it. I can't find it. And then watching how the mind will do something with it. Oh, darn, they moved it. Oh, darn, someone took it. Oh, darn. All that is just gone. It's just noticing and doing our best to find it.
Thank you. Happy birthday
Okay,
again.
if I can't find it, okay, if I can't. And thank you, honey. I appreciate that so much. I love recounting this beautiful life, and I'm looking for a downside as well. And if that comes to me, then I'll pop in with that too. So Julie, honey, you have a Judge-Your-Neighbor worksheet?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm terrible on Zoom, so don't mind me if I'm slow.
Well, okay, I won't mind you if you don't mind me. I'm okay. And honey, I think we're both doing well. I can see you, and if you can see me, and I can hear you, you can hear me. We're good. So what did you write for number one?
Well, so it's really interesting. I was at a Christmas party last night, and I actually it was a work Christmas party, and one of my coworkers' wives is a facilitator, I think, on your team. So I just heard about this last night. So I printed all the materials and joined last night, but I haven't started it yet. So is that something that I need to do first before I come on?
And what is it that you're talking about when you say, should I start it?
The Judge Your Neighbor, because I haven't filled it in.
Oh, I see. Okay. So what troubles you? What would you work on if what do you want to work through?
So basically, about a year ago, my husband of 10 years cheated on me. and we've been going to couples counseling. We've been doing all those things. But what I really notice is I'm already a very fragile person with self-confidence in general and image, and I've had just kind of a hard time with just myself and being confident in who I am and my importance in the world, despite trying 100% all the time.
Yeah. Oh boy, you need to be important in the world, honey. Oh, is it true?
It's really just me.
Okay, so let's so the first thing is to, for all of you that are new to the work today, and for some of us others, the first thing to get in touch with is the answer to the first two questions. You know, the answer is either yes or no. Not yes and or no because, none of that. This is an exercise in stillness. It's a meditative process. So consider, honey, you need to be important. Is it true?
Yes.
Now notice how you react. Look at your life. Notice how you react when you think the thought, I need to be important. So witness how you react what happens to your life, how you live it when you think the thought, I need to be important. How do you react? In that situation where he has been unfaithful.
I want to react by
No,
knowing.
how do you react when you think the thought, I need to be important?
It almost doesn't resonate, like I don't feel worthy of it, even though I want to.
Okay, so let's keep it where you've got it. Slow down. Look at those images when you found out about his affair. Look at those images in your head when you think the thought, I need to be important. How do you react when you think the thought, I need to be important to him? How do you treat him? What is your life like when you're thinking the thought? How do you react when you think, I need to be important to him? And you're feeling that low self-esteem you described.
How do I react in the sense of what I say and what I do, or how do I feel? Sorry.
Say what you do and how it feels. Very good.
It feels like I'm wanting to feel worthy or wanting to be seen, wanting
And then how do you react out of that?
By standing up or speaking up, trying to converse. I might not be answering these correctly. When I say that I want to feel important, or that I feel like it could make me feel stronger. And that's what I ultimately hope.
That's what you're hoping. And the question is, how do you react when you think the thought, I need to be important to him, and you have just found out about his affair?
Angry.
What do you say? What do you do when you're feeling hurt like that? Angry. Anger is a word for hurt. Hurt's a word for anger.
Scream, yell,
Can be in some situations.
charged.
Again,
Scream, yell, increase voice, feel charged. Bit shaky.
Yeah.
That's how I react.
yeah. So hold that in your mind's eye. That's what you're saying. That's how you're treating him. That's who he lives with. Okay. Now, who would you be in that situation without the thought, I need to be important to him, when you found out about his affair? Listen, he's admitting it. Who would you be without the thought, I need to be important to him?
I wouldn't feel those things. I feel like those would be eliminated. I wouldn't feel a need for all of those things. I wouldn't feel angry. I wouldn't feel hostile towards him. I wouldn't feel angry with myself.
That's extraordinary. There you are. There you are. That's rare human being. You feel connected as he's telling you about the affair, confiding in you. That says a lot for you that he can.
If I took away that part of needing that from him, then it feels more like
Important. You feel the connection between the two of you?
Yeah.
It opens up a whole other line of
Regardless.
I need to be important to him. Turned around, I am important to him. It's very admirable that he could open up like this and share this with you.
Yeah.
I need to be important to him. Turn around, I am important to him. It's
a big turnaround. So it feels like it's settling.
yeah, because notice who he's with.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're important to him. In his world, you're important to him, more important than her. I need to be important to him. Turned around. I need to be important to myself.
And that definitely feels like the root of it for me.
Well, there you are. Be there now. There you are. Honey, your sound, I didn't hear your words.
Oh, I just was repeating it.
Okay.
I just was repeating it.
I need to be important to myself. What you just got in touch with, you're showing up. That's a big deal. And in that, do you need the world to see you as important?
No.
No, you are. it goes away when you're self-realized.
Does it help to continue to repeat those words?
Well, anytime it can be the same topic again, or it can be another one. But if it's still bringing pain to me, I write another worksheet on the same thing, and my ego will offer it up a different way, and it can bring me all kinds of new insights. So in that situation where you want him to be important, want to be important to him, what advice would you offer him in that situation to get what you want, which is to be important to him? He should, he shouldn't.
So what advice would I give him to
To
ask
get what you want, which is to be important to him.
just to be honest, to be
So
open?
in that situation, he should be honest.
Yeah.
He should be open,
Trust.
trust you.
Mhm.
Anything else? He shouldn't have affairs.
He shouldn't have affairs. He shouldn't lie. He shouldn't drink, because that leads to not good things for him.
He shouldn't drink. Okay. So he should be honest with you. Is it true? Look how horrific that is for him to admit to you that affair. He should be honest with you. Is it true? I mean, look who you're married to. It's true. He did.
Yeah.
Was. So he should be honest with me. Turned around in that situation, I should be honest with. How would you complete that? I should be honest with
Myself?
Yeah. So listen to his words. I should be honest with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. There he is, just telling you what happened. And I should be honest with him. Were you honest with him?
About how I was feeling? In general? Yeah.
About the affair. Okay, good. So good, honey. You're living some high standards there. I see why he would want to live with you and trust you enough to confide in you that way. So I should be honest with him in that situation. And if you have unfinished business that you didn't cover then, you may want to share it with him or not. He should be open, and he was. Turned around in that situation with him, I should be
Open. And I was not as open as I could have been.
let him know.
I will.
No, be open and honest. So he should trust you. Looks like he did. He does. Turned around, I should trust him.
I should trust him.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. Yeah.
It's advice that came out of you.
Yeah.
Take the advice I have for other people. What's going on with that? I'm a people. And I'm a good listener to myself. You should trust me. So you can clean that one up too. And I should trust me. To be honest, share my feelings and whatever unfinished business you may have. And doing these worksheets, sweetheart, working them, it doesn't say you have to, but it opens you up to where you're falling short in some areas as he has fallen. Only he takes the big rap. And our egos get away with it. You know, they did us wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
we should be the one protected now, or we should be the one that, you know.
And the only one that can give us that is us, because in our minds, you know, we can hold on 40, 50 years of, he's been having an affair. I just don't know about it. We don't know. The ego is just, you know, on fire. And it's the opposite of forgiveness when the ego is creating identity.
Right. And it almost just feels like it just adds a sentiment of hostility, resentment, anger, you know.
Yeah, honey,
So
there's a body language to it. We get hurt. And he knows our shtick. He knows your shtick.
Shtick, I love it.
Mm-hmm. He should trust you that you won't hold that over on him. He should trust you. Is it true? You know how you are. He should trust you, not to hold it over him. He should trust you. Is it true?
I try not to hold it over him, but I could do a better job.
There you are. There you are. And the way I can't stop my ego from showing up, but in my world, it shows up to give me my next worksheet. It doesn't rule my life to the extent that I cannot do something about it, which is the same thing we're doing together now.
I'm gonna print like 50 of these.
They're just and they're always free on thework.com. You just click it and it goes right to your printer.
It's interesting. I know there's other people, and I don't want to take a bunch more time. I was just gonna say the what would it be if it didn't happen, or if it wasn't true, is just.
Yeah, but that's denial. We don't want that. It's just, who are you in that situation, anchored there in your mind's eye, just the way it was. So that's how you do this work. You anchor in the situation. You fill the worksheet out, the situation, and you inquire, start to finish, one belief at a time, with self-inquiry.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. He shouldn't lie. Is it true?
Yeah.
Knowing you, he shouldn't lie. Is it true? Always remember who you're talking about.
About that one.
Yeah, it's a yes or no, and it really, so this takes stillness and meditation to a whole new level. It's
Yeah.
just like nitro.
Yeah. I have to definitely have some time to really think and look at the questions over and really be 100% honest
Yeah.
with myself to work
Yeah.
with sheets.
Yeah, because this is personal work, just you with you.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have affairs. Is it true? Look to yourself again. He shouldn't have affairs. It doesn't mean he has affairs and it's your fault. It's just this is we're looking at ourselves with a microscope, and our judgments are ours. So it's never about the other person. This is about ourself, what we're thinking and believing, and how we treat other people, and can justify it. The ego, that's its job. He wronged me, so I can hurt him because he deserves it. But no, that's oh, it's so easy to justify, but it doesn't fly.
Yeah.
Because then we feel guilt over what we said and did there. And we didn't have the affair.
Yeah.
Yeah. He shouldn't have affairs. Turned around, he should have affairs. Where does your mind go with that as you quarry that? I like to say, as you noodle that, he should have affairs. Where do you go with that?
I mean,
These
that's
pronouns don't mean it's true. We're just, this is open-minded self-inquiry.
I can't really judge if he should or shouldn't have affairs because it's up to him.
Yeah, we can't control another human being.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have affairs. Is it true? Turned around. You answered that. He turned around. He should have affairs. And what I have found as I meditate in that and get really still, oh my goodness, this is amazing. You know what I see? In my mind's eye, he's having affairs every time he leaves the house, or when he leaves the house, or when he has a drink, or when he should have affairs in my head, which cause me pain, and yet will give me another worksheet on unfinished business.
Is unfinished business a second worksheet?
Unfinished business is it's the opposite of unconditional love.
Okay.
And you have a lot of options in that. If he continues to have affairs, you can love and divorce. It's you can leave. You have all kinds of options.
Yeah.
But to be honest with ourselves, we think if we're that honest, we're in some kind of trap. It's not so. It's the extreme opposite. We're free. You don't have to be with that person. But when he's not having affairs and you're believing he's having affairs, and you have no proof and you're believing he's having affairs, that's on you. And then he takes the rap.
Yeah. I agree with that.
More. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he comes in with alcohol in his breath and you give him the look or turn your head. These tiny little nuances, they're not so tiny, they're lethal. They're like shooting bullets.
Well, they just spin you out into a whole web of other things where you don't even have facts yet.
Yeah. It's very good. He shouldn't have affairs around. I shouldn't have affairs. Not while I'm married, and it doesn't mean I won't, but I'm looking at my own standards of how I want to be in the world, and I'm aware this work we become aware, and someone really attractive finds us attractive, and our heart goes pitter patter, or we just feel like that's just this ego flying around, and then wonders what it would be like, if I were married to him and not him, just craziness. He shouldn't have affairs, I shouldn't have affairs. And here's where they begin, right here in our head. Yeah, and that makes the heart go, oh my gosh, he is just a one, just. Yeah. He shouldn't drink. Is it true? This is a big one. They're all big ones. He shouldn't drink. We're not talking about anyone else. We're talking about him. He shouldn't drink. Can you see how you could sit in just one of these?
Yeah, forever.
Yeah.
For a long time. I know. I mean, it's hard because I really have to think about the answer, and there's so many thoughts going in my head. It's hard to know what the right answer is.
But this work brings us to just a quiet contemplation. He shouldn't have affairs. Is it true? I'm talking about him. He shouldn't have affairs. Is it true? Always remembering it's one syllable. It's either yes or no. You can see how just one of these can just hold you throughout the day.
Because ultimately, I shouldn't be in control of what he does.
As though you have a choice. So I agree with you in that.
So initially, my response is no to all of those. I mean, it's should he have affairs? That's what he wants to do. Should he drink? Who am I to say what he should and shouldn't do? But then if I bring like my own standards of marriage into the picture,
then it matters. Then it
yes or no.
Yeah, and it matters because you're getting in touch with your standards, and it's like we find ourselves, some of us find ourselves in a relationship where this is just not working for me. I love you with all my heart. It's not working for me.
Yeah.
And I love you and I need to leave now. And I don't see yours anywhere near that. But doing this work, people somehow draw the conclusion they have to tolerate it and just keep doing their work. But no, God never boxed in.
Yeah.
Getting honest gives us the courage we need because we're on solid ground, honest with ourselves.
Yeah. And the boxed in is why I feel like to these questions that you're asking, in order for me not to be boxed in and for him not to be boxed in.
Well, he may be terribly boxed in, but you're not. And he'll come to see, sitting in this practice, for you sitting in this practice, he'll come to see that you love him and there's some things that are not okay with you. And if he has an affair and you're hurt, that's on you.
Yeah.
And this work also allows you to be with him and or not be with him, but it's your life. This makes you important in the world, not secondary to any other human being, but to be open to every human being, and to hear what they say that could shift what you think you realize so thoroughly. So a life of inquiry is, what a gift. What a gift your friend gave you last night.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't drink. How do you treat him when you think the thought he shouldn't drink and you see those tendencies coming on just prior to?
Oh, eggshells. I walk on eggshells, very nervous, think about what's going to happen next.
And that's
Beg him to stop right there.
And that's not on you. That's your ego at work. Just fear. Ego's like a
Fear.
fearmonger. It's fighting for its life. Can you imagine a state of mind fighting for its life to be I, physical? I am. It knows every trick in the book until we wake up to it. And that's when the war ends with the ego. We understand
That there's something driving.
Mhm.
That's not me. That's trying to drive me.
Yeah. So he should be honest, and he should not drink turned around.
I should be honest. Turned around on me or turned around on him?
Let's start that one over.
Right.
He shouldn't. He should be honest and not drink. Is it true?
Yes.
And how do you treat him when you think that thought and you see that tendency building?
I'm not well, kind of like how I mentioned before. I probably treat him like with the drinking, kind of like a kid trying to monitor.
Okay,
So
so look at that. Look at that.
okay.
You see you in your mind's eye?
Yeah.
That's who he's living with.
Ugh. Pleasant. So then I would change it to he should drink and he should.
And you should try it on. He should drink.
Okay.
And then ponder that. He should drink. Okay. Example of why that human being that you're with,
Mhm.
knowing him, doesn't mean he will, but he shouldn't drink, turned around in that situation, he should drink.
Phrase, I guess, in my control. If I don't put a negative towards it.
Well, it's like, who are you without the thought? He shouldn't drink. In that situation, that's the fourth question. It's the fourth of four.
In order for you to be happy in this situation, what do you need him to think, feel, or say? That fourth one?
Yeah, let's look at that one. When you think the thought he shouldn't drink, how do you react? And he's all those tendencies you see, he's getting wound up. Or it's Friday night, or it's a day off, whatever it is.
How do I react when I see him doing that? Or how do I react when I say he should drink?
When you're believing the thought he shouldn't drink.
I react poorly. I mean, it's not a healthy type of relationship.
So describe it and look at you. Look at your body language. when you're thinking you thought he shouldn't drink and you're sensing he's ready to,
Yeah. Reserved, withdrawn, removed, nervous, scared, not connected.
frightened. And then that thing comes in, I'm not important to him. If he really loved me, if I were really important to him, he would not do it. And then he does it. In your mind's eye. He shouldn't drink. Turned around. Like he's drunk with his drinking when he is, and you're drunk when you're thinking, even without a drink. That is the definition of alcoholism. Drunk thinking. Fear.
Full of unrealistic ideas and fear, not numbness.
He shouldn't have affairs. Turned around, he should have affairs. He shouldn't have affairs. He's going out the door. He should have affairs. Now, your ego, that's where it's at. Now notice, every time it happens, she's prettier than you are. She's smarter than you are. She's got a better body. She is just goo goo gaga over. She is everything you're not. The ego just flashes in your head. And then you are not important. Remember,
Just feeds into it. They just feed into each other, if that's my thoughts.
and that's not him, and that's not her, and that's
Me.
those thoughts are your responsibility to get sane, to get sober.
Yeah.
Know the difference. What is your husband standing there? And even as he's walking out the door, that's your husband. Everything else is on you.
Yep. It's freeing to think of it in that sense.
Well,
To just
what
let
other
that
sense
go.
is there? What other sense is there if you're sane? Knowing the difference between what's hurting you. It's not him. It's what you're thinking and believing.
Yeah.
And your self-esteem just dumps to the ground. And that's not on him.
Yeah. It's on me. I'm creating them.
So let's look at the next one. Let's look at what do you need to be happy in that situation where you're thinking he's going to have affairs and drink. He's going to meet some woman and drink and meet some woman and have an affair. To be happy, I need him to
Communicate.
He is.
Okay.
He's
Tell
saying,
me
"Oh,
what's-
I'm not going to drink," or "I'm just going to drink one," or whatever he's doing. "I'm just going out with the guys." I don't know, but you do.
Oh, okay. So in that situation, if he was doing those things, what do I need to hear from him? Where you're going, who you're going with, is your location on? Who's gonna be there?
So
Yeah.
that's who he's married to.
Yeah, I'm getting the idea here in my head.
He's married to a monitor. He's in a cage.
Which is not what I'm trying to create.
No, not at all. You're just expressing yourself honestly, fearfully, honestly, but fearfully. And fear is not a great communicator.
No.
It's, some of us load our guns and, we lock and load and pull the trigger.
Yeah, fear is a big driving communicator for sure for me. I mean, I can hear it through everything I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. So, I need him to communicate details where he's going.
FaceTime me with the video on.
And who it's with. Okay. So to be happy, he's walking out the door. To be happy, for you to be happy, read it this way and get in touch with yourself and see how it feels. For me to be happy, I don't need him to. And read it.
For me to be happy, I don't. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
For me to be happy, so follow this. I don't need him to communicate details of where he's going. I don't need to ask him, is your tracking on? I don't need him to tell me who he's going to be with for me to be happy. Now sit in that, test it. You've got a life.
To be happy, I don't have to communicate where he's at. I don't need him to call me. I don't need him to check in. I don't need to know who's going to be there. I don't need to monitor.
Because he tells you all of that and you still don't trust it. Still not happy. So let's find a solution for me to be happy. I need me to communicate to myself. Where am I going? Is my tracking on for my life?
I'm just writing this down. I'm not paying attention.
We can send you this worksheet.
Okay.
Yeah, Keith can take or maybe Paul, if someone can take a picture of this this worksheet.
Okay.
That where, like, Paula will hear your words and write them down. That's how I'm unable to memorize your words, so we've got them solid for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and even if we didn't, you can fill in that worksheet and start over, which would probably be just really, really good. And you can do both. That's what
I will.
Yeah. So in that situation, I need to call me back to the present, get out of his life mentally, since I can't
Change, direct.
no, he's got his life. And in that situation, to be happy, I need to know who I will be with, as opposed to who he will be with. Who will I be with, Like, I, as you, am living vicariously my husband's life and fearfully my husband's life. And that's not my husband, that's my own imagination. Experience flowing through me as though it's going to, as though I know the future. And I can't. Some of it I can get right, but not ever 100%. But I can get a life. I can be important to me in my world. To be happy, I can communicate with myself the details of where I'm going and track myself, my head, call me back when I'm in his business mentally, and be with me.
I like that a lot. That's actually really comforting.
Well, honey, and it gives him a wife that is, what is your thing? Important.
Yeah.
Important in the world. Her own, that's just, oof. It's enough to get someone sober. Not everyone, but boy, if I were alcoholic and were believing these thoughts, you know, drunk with my thinking like that, eventually I could end up drunk with my drinking and then be stuck with both. But this is like looking at an alcoholic's head.
Yeah.
They refer to it sometimes as, let's see, what is it? I can't recall, but let's look at the next one. In that situation, he is where he's walking out the door and you're believing that you're not important to him, and he's going to drink. Number 5, in that situation, he is where you want to track him and him to call you and who he's going to be with and all of that. He is
Angry, irritated, annoyed, frustrated, probably sad and hurt.
Wow, that's something to get in touch with. Just linger there. Yeah, it's something that when you're ready, you can ask him about. When I'm in that state of mind, requiring all of that, that you call me and who you'll be with and all of that, does it sadden you? Does it hurt you? I really want to know. I really want to know what that's like for you, and to also let you know that I'm really working on it. So in that situation where where you're tracking him and wanting him to call all of that, I am angry. Find that.
Frustrated, worried, fearful,
Irritated,
sad and hurt.
So you can't always get in touch with him where he can really listen. And he might have to go do what he does even when he's hurt and listening. But in that situation, to deal with the person, to change the person that you live with from the time you wake up, even in a crowd of people, the time you go to bed, I am in that situation, and read angry. He's going off to be with his friends, etc., etc. I am irritated, annoyed, frustrated, sad, and hurt. So now take care of the one you can take care of. You know, self-inquiry, you've got a taste of that. He can't help you, even if he changed. I mean, it might ease things up, but you're still left with your thinking.
Right. Gotta be me.
Yeah. And that leaves you as unimportant because you're focused on him. There's no room for you to be important. What is the opposite of angry? Again?
Joyful, happy.
Okay. So in that situation, imagine him, he's walking out the door. You haven't asked him to keep his tracking on or to call you or who he's going to be with. I am happy. First, he's going out the door. I am angry, irritated, annoyed, frustrated, sad and hurt. We did that one.
Yep.
So opposite of angry, happy.
Happy.
So imagine, just go back to that time he's walking out the door. Be happy for him, honey. You can't change him. And if he's alcoholic at all, he's going after medicine. And notice how you react when you believe the thought you need to be important to him and he's going off. You're not important to you. You're putting your importance in his hands. And he's not equipped when it's you, his friends, or alcohol. You know, it's not much of a contest there sometimes. So in that situation, what's the opposite of irritated?
Calm.
Okay, let him go. He's going, you know, be happy for him. Calm. He's going to be with his friends. He's going to do his best. He told you he's not going to drink. The opposite of annoyed. Okay with it.
Okay with it. Yeah. Satisfied.
Yeah. And not just saying it, but really, he's going off to live his life. A life you can't stop him from. You can ask. You can, opposite of anger is, you said happy, you can be happy for him. None of this you have to do. We're just looking at self-inquiry. I love living the turnarounds that make sense to me in real time. Annoyed, the opposite of annoyed in that situation.
Okay. Calm. Okay with it.
Mhm. That's a big one. Or trusting it,
Trusting.
okay with it. Yeah, he could drink. That's who he is. He could break promises. That's sometimes who we are. Especially when they know the consequences, knowing us that they're going to be facing. They become better at it. The opposite of frustrated.
Relaxed.
Yeah. Look at him. He's God. The dude's going to be with his clan. And he gets to leave that you, as you're believing I need to be important to him, as though you're not. I mean, you're the one he lives with. You're the one he trusts. You're the one he loves. The opposite of sad. Happy. Yeah. Be happy for him. There he goes. You can't stop him. You might stop him that night, but not the next one, sooner or later. The opposite of hurt. Healed.
Good one.
Yeah, be healed as he's walking out the door. And if you're not, be healed. Heal is another worksheet, another worksheet. You could do worksheets on nothing but him for my goodness, until it's done.
Until you feel it.
Mhm. And when you sit in these meditations and you're anchored in that time and place, you feel it. You feel it, and it really, really helps. Your entire attitude shifts, and then you make that one little killer move the ego makes so well, the walking out the door, like that one little zinger you could leave him with. It's like, oop, work's not done yet. Work's not done. And it's the difference between loving someone and condoning their actions. You don't condone it. That's not you. It's just doesn't have to cost you your life and your love for him. And it doesn't mean you have to stay. So sit in that situation. What is it you never want to experience again? I don't ever want, what is it you don't ever want to happen again?
I don't ever want to feel traumatized,
I don't ever want to be traumatized by him again. I'm willing to feel traumatized by him again. Could happen. And if you have a problem with it, it's another worksheet.
Yep.
I look forward to feeling traumatized by him again.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, well, I look forward being traumatized by him again. It's just unfinished business. He cannot be the cause of my unhappiness. It's what I'm thinking and believing about him that is the cause of my unhappiness.
Myself.
Yeah. We've got the perfect mates. They give us our work.
Definitely.
No mistake. It's see, for me, this has been important to the world, and there's no human being that has to know it. I'm important in the world, and it's not something I say. I love the world as it is. And sanity leaves me with a lot of choices. Sane ones. So I can hold that status with myself in the world of being important. And no other human being ever has to know. Julie, let's get some feedback from the community. And we moved through this quickly and you didn't have it written down. When you write it down, that is an exercise in stillness as well. It takes anchoring in a situation, a time and place.
That makes sense. I wasn't fully prepared quite yet, so now I understand how it works.
How to fill in that worksheet. It's an exercise in stillness. You just imagine yourself in that time and place. Get in touch with what you were thinking and believing and fill in the worksheet that supports you to get in touch with. You know, there's when we're born, we're born, you know, our mothers say, oh, you were born, and the father said, you were so cute when you were little, and the brothers and sisters say, oh, you were you were the sweetest baby, all of this. But we weren't there because there was no ego formed yet, just the physical. And we existed only to others. But then, sweetheart, there was that moment. There was that moment of I, identity, I. And that's where this worksheet came from. I want, are all of you listening? I want. Familiar? I'm hurt because I want, I need. And it could be the mother's breast or a bottle of milk. It could be to roll. We could be 3 years old. We could be 8 years old before the I kicks in. Identity, I. I don't ever want to. He is, she isn't. And you know where this is covered? 1 through 6 on the Judge-Your-Neighbor Worksheet. These thoughts brought us in. In other words, ego identification. This object as I, me. How does it stay alive? I want, I need, he should, he shouldn't. I don't ever want to. I'm angry because he or she. Identity. So we believed ourselves in this work, we're questioning ourselves out. We're questioning what brought us in. And it leaves us as, you know, I just love the term as a loving, caring, understanding human being. With no need for anyone to understand you because you understand you and the cause of your suffering and the absence of suffering, how deeply you can love, respect, and appreciate what someone else is going through, and then have choices of your own as to how to have a happy life of importance. Yeah. So Julie, let's get some takeaways, honey. This was, you've got the gift of an open mind. That's all this takes. Zeynep, honey, your takeaway.
Hello, happy
Hi.
birthday.
Hi, honey.
Um,
Your takeaway.
Actually, I was joining. I joined for the first time, and I don't know what should I say. I was raising my hand for the work, but what can I say? I don't know right now.
Well, you know, on Julie's work
Yes,
showed so many of us that were really
yes,
into it, how to fill in a Judge-Your-Neighbor worksheet and how to just silently, even though we had words spoken out loud, how to silently just sit in your worksheet.
Actually, this is very familiar to me, Julie. If I had someone in my life, maybe I can think the way you think. So it's really familiar, and I was thinking about how can I separate myself from someone other myself, and how can I live my life instead of thinking someone's life. I think we
By living the turnarounds, like you question what's on the worksheet, and then when you turn it around, there is your prescription for happiness. No one's telling you how to have a happy life or what to do to have a happy life except yourself. There it is. You live the turnarounds. You question what's on the worksheet, and then you live the turnarounds, but they don't work if you don't question it first.
Yes, I questioned some questions because I don't have someone in my life, but I was imagining, yeah, and it was very familiar, and I think everyone has same concerns about relationships nowadays. So I was also thinking about how can I be in my confidence? How can I act in my confidence instead of thinking?
So remember Julie, and on the other side of this, you get to you get to sit in this video again.
Okay.
And so remember Julie, and you will know specifically how to live a happy life without anyone in the world giving you advice. The best advice is in you as you question and turn around what you write on the worksheet. And any of you, if you need a little help, just go to the comment column and ask. And we have people here that maybe can jump in and support you in this. And we're going to be here tomorrow and the next day, every
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well. So
Thank you.
work is always free on thework.com.
Thank you very much. And happy birthday again.
Thank you, honey, for raising your hand. Willa, honey, your takeaway.
Hello, Katie.
Hi.
I got 2 takeaways today and 1 question about this work. So first of all, I want to say thank you for this great reminder. If I can't find it, I don't need it. I was like, I forgot it totally. And it's such a relief. I just don't need it. And when you were doing these turnarounds with Julie, should, I recall that to me, it was not true because it's not what it is. So
Yeah, it's like wishing the impossible and then looking at it and thinking, oh my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah. The mind just becomes hilarious when you know it's the ego running through it. It can say things and show you things that are just crazy. And it's like you come to love the ego and its attempt to be physical, I am. It's, mind is not body. And body without mind is pure intelligence, no need to I.
I couldn't understand actually for a while why the ego is a teacher but I slowly get into this. And you said today unfinished business is an opposite of unconditional love. And it was a huge resonance with my work today that I had. It felt like I got to that like core of my existence, where I could see that child who says like, I feel it and hear this inside, like, look around, everything supports you. And this child's like, I hate it supports me. So yeah, it's like, I know it's not true, but I can see that it's a child, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, then it's so sweet. You know, it's the egos. You know, eventually you just fall in love with the ego. It's just a terrified little, I want, I need, they should, they shouldn't, I want, I need, they should, they shouldn't, I don't ever want to, I want, you know, it's just, oh my God, it's, you know, if you love a baby, love your ego well enough to move it from your head to paper and mother it, father it, family it.
Yeah, I still can't put into words how I start to understand this child as a teacher. So I wanted also to ask a question about this work. You did the turnaround. So he is angry, and the turnaround was, I am happy. And when I did the work on the helpline,
That was on specifically, that was on number 5. It's just a little different. And it's in the situation. So yeah, anyway, what you hear, that's legitimate for me.
I just want to ask if, I mean, when I was doing my own work, I sometimes did these turnarounds. Like, he or she is something, then I am something, and then I am the opposite of it. But when I did it on the helpline, facilitator said to me that it's over turnaround and it's not something that we can do. So what it is, so.
If you give me an example that we could look at.
I'm not sure that I can bring an exact example, but I could, you know, I think that if in that situation with Julie, if it's okay to explain why it's okay to do it here, it would be enough for me to understand.
Well, there are no requirements here. This is, you know, an exercise in stillness and self-inquiry, self-realization. It's like he should stay in touch with me. Let's say he's walking away. I'm afraid he's going to drink and all of that. He should listen to me. Okay, so you know, honey, I'm not sure I understand where you're coming from, and I'm just kind of taking stabs at it. But if I look at number 5, he is going to drink. Okay, so is it true? How do I react when I think the thought?
It was, sorry for interrupting. It was, he's angry, then I am angry, and then I am happy. So my question is that when we do the turnaround, I am happy, isn't it like over?
Well, I can't just be happy and believe I'm happy. I need to anchor in that situation and try it on. Like he is happy. I turn around, I am happy. Okay. So now I'm just going to meditate and I'm happy. Okay. I don't want him to drink. He's going off to drink, but he's so happy. I want him to have a happy life. The way he goes on about it may not work for me, but I have options. I don't have to be with him. But what I can say is, as he was leaving the house, he was happy to go be with his friends and to get away from me, who is judging him and frightened. I'm happy for him. I don't like being with me either in that state of mind. So he's happy, turned around, I'm happy for him. Okay, so I'm using that. And then
He's angry. He's angry, and then I am happy.
I'm having, you know, if you fill in a worksheet and raise your hand tomorrow, then it'll support me not to have to guess about, you know, where you're at. And
I right now, yeah, I can do the worksheet. I'm right now on the work with Julie. So yeah, my question was about that work. I mean, that's it, in that situation, when we try on this, what facilitator said to me, overturn around, in which cases it's okay to do this. Like, he's angry, I am happy. So like 2 steps.
well, he was going to be with his friends, but let's say he was angry, turned around. He's angry. He's going to stay home, maybe. He's angry, turned around. I'm happy. Not so happy. I'm with someone that doesn't want to be with me here at home. So I'm just, this is inquiry. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about being honest with myself. And so I'm the only one that can do my work. And in our time together, when someone fills in a worksheet and we're sitting together, I do my best just like they do. And if somehow I'm not able to understand where you're coming from, which is the case, then you can fill in a worksheet and maybe we can get together and do a worksheet and stay on the same page, which is what I was feeling with Julie's work. And so we'll just both do our best. And I think in this world, that's all any of us do, honey. And that's, we can say the same for this worksheet, for these worksheets. Oh my, Chantal.
Hi,
Hi, Chantal.
yes. What do I take from that? You talk about suffering.
Yes.
I'm at the point where the suffering ends because I'm 70, and I said maybe the suffering comes from my ego, because you were talking about that, and that one really hit me. So, and I've done the worksheet and I've turned it around. Basically, I always attract the same pattern all my life, and I said this time I'm going to learn from it. And the pattern is I always attract men that drinks and that take drugs, but I don't do any of that. I meditate. I married a man that was alcoholic and knowing he was doing all that. And now the last one that did it, even my kids, they couldn't believe me. So I have an addiction. And I said, my addiction may be sex addiction. I don't know. The thing is, and I materialized things. So I met that young man on the street walking. I'm 70, he's 26. He fell into my trap. So, and I got hurt really badly because he ended it abruptly.
Yeah.
And I felt like dying. I said, I don't want to feel the pain of love anymore. But then what I took from that, with what you said and what people experience, is it reduced my ego. You know, go back to your soul, who you are, love and peace. Don't get caught up with your ego all the time. And at that point, I said, because I'm already one with myself, I received Jesus, oneness with Jesus, and I felt I was a healer of souls. So now I'm asking the question, am I a healer of souls? That's why I keep meeting the same kind of men. Is this a test? And I've been on the meditation path for 40 years, and I got 6 gurus. I said, why are you doing that to me? And I'm over it because I went back to my meditation after all the illusion of doing what I was doing. And I'm hoping now that I've learned my lesson. So I'm not too sure, but I don't want to suffer anymore. But I guess you're always going to suffer somehow. But
well, who knows? But it's always a beginning. You know, we get trapped, and then it's just another worksheet, and it's nothing we have to do. It's just, you know, what we're looking for is the absence of suffering. And these worksheets give us opportunity, and those we question and we turn it around. It gives us a way of living that no one else is teaching us, just ourselves. And if we have filled in the worksheet authentically, you know, our mind in that situation, our mind on paper, then and we question and turn it around, it's like you're the teacher you've been waiting for. You're the wisdom you've been waiting for. And the ego fills in the worksheet. And then we question, and the ego loves to offer up. It loves to offer up the answers to these questions if we just sit and wait and listen to how we just get in touch with how we react when we believe the thought, and how we treat other people when we believe the thought, and it's all there. And then who would we be without it? You know, when
I know it's looked like when I saw him, I met myself, the bad boy type, you know, and I said, who am I? And he likes chaos because I have illness over another illness, limping, and I'm coming limping, and he's coming. And I said, what is this? This is impossible. Nothing is working. The only thing is working for us is when we are silent and we are in each other's arm, and that's it. That's it. And he doesn't like me when I ask too many questions. Here I am. I like asking questions. So it's interesting that I have to revert all that to myself.
Yeah, you don't have to, but it certainly is a meditative exercise in stillness to get in touch with it. So, honey, thank you. You are so beautiful. Thank you for checking in. You're on fire, girl. And
I know.
the only thing is, in the long run, it's like, So that part, do a worksheet on, honey.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I love you all so much. You are just, oh, we are the world, aren't we? Oh my gosh, the world of the ego. You put us all together and we're all the same. I want, I need, I don't ever want to. Okay, so again, dears, thank you for your, thank you for your contributions, for sure. And we'll be back here tomorrow and the next day. Oh, and yeah, thank you all for something beautiful. And Julie, thank you for your work today.